Right. But you know what doesn't make, I think it's hard for most people because they get isolated. When you're different and you're doing things
Absolutely.
differently from people, you're isolated. But I'm not isolated because I get to talk to you and have dialogues like this. So it doesn't make it hard.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the majority might not have that, but I can come and share things with you that I may be scared to share with someone else because they're gonna be like, "Oh, here you go talking about that again. He just brag. He just,"
Yeah.
and I'm not.
So,
I'm trying to get your advice and see, get your feedback
well, you're
too.
curious.
Right?
I
Absolutely.
think like most, like that's a common trait in people that are in pursuit of excellence. You're curious, so you ask questions. And a lot of times people's insecurities, flare up because they really can't answer the question. That's really what they want to say. So instead of doing that, they just gonna make you feel like something's wrong with you. But like so I talk in the book. So there's a chapter in the book, and it's a two-part chapter, and it's talking about in order in your life, whatever the fruit is, whether it's being a great basketball player, being a great dad, making money, in order to produce sweet fruit, you got to commit to developing deep roots. And that's what you're talking about when you talk about being isolated, right? Because, when you're in your root developing stage, it's dark and it's dirty. And that's how you find out who your real friends are. Because when you're in a dark and dirty stage, who really wants to be around you? When you're in a dark and dirty stage, you know what people gonna do? They gonna judge you and be like, he must messed up. He must be a loser of life because he's dark and he's dirty.
Yeah.
Not realizing that all you're doing is developing the deep roots. It's a conundrum that we live in this world because people judge you by your fruit.
But once
But
that fruit is ripe, they want to come and pick it off the tree and eat it and say how delicious
but
it
not
is.
only that, they judge you by your fruit, and that's right. But they won't give you the space and the time and the support to develop the deep roots. You cannot develop fruit. You cannot produce fruit if you don't commit to developing deep roots. And that's why I felt so moved to write that chapter is because, like there's like 3 or 4 things that I talk about in that chapter. One, when you commit to developing deep roots to get to that money, you know what I'm saying? To get to that lifestyle, your life ain't going to be Instagrammable.
Nah.
It ain't nothing sweet about when you're in that dark and dirty stage of developing deep roots, but without committing to it, you'll never get to the fruit. And that's why a lot of people aren't committed to unplugging for a stage of their life to develop the deep fruit. You ever see those motivational videos where it says, I challenge you to disappear for 30 days or disappear for 90 days and watch what happens. You know how many people aren't willing to do that?
What you think that is?
They're addicted to the shallowness of like being acknowledged.
So
They're fueled by praise. They're fueled by acknowledgement. See, like when you commit to greatness, your source of drive and hope can't be anything external. Because when I'm writing that book, it took a year. I'm walking around, need to shave, wearing the same sweatsuits every day, all this and that. And people like, dang, bro.
Yeah, I know that.
Like, dog, I thought like, and
you
then,
committed to something.
And then people, and it appeared from a distance like I'm just like tricking off my life. I remember the first book I wrote, I kept telling people, I'm writing a book. It was easier this time because now I had to establish, but the first time, it's like, all right. And I remember like once somebody picked up the book, a lot of those people that was laughing at me, rolling their eyes, they picked up the book, they thumbed it like, yo,
this is for
like
real.
You for real wrote a book.
Yeah.
That's the fruit.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Now they want to pick the fruit.
Right.
But they didn't understand the dark state, to get the roots deep. No, that's deep.
Yeah.
I could feel that.
And that's why for me.
But that comes back. So greatness don't have. So when people judge what do you call it? The interior, the exterior, the outer. When they judging that off greatness, they looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.